appears the bubble over the long-standing feud between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor Nyesom Wike has finally burst. The gulf between the two combatants widened more when Governor Fubara directed heads of administration in the 23 local government areas of the state to assume leadership position of the council areas. In a statewide broadcast in Port Harcourt this Tuesday morning, the governor based his decision on the expiration of their tenure on Monday. And the decision generated spontaneous reactions at most local government areas in the state. And at the Secretariat of the Port Harcourt City Council, there were sporadic gunshots as the police scared away scores of youths who stormed the premises to protest. The youth said they were at the Secretariat for a peaceful demonstration against the immediate past council chairman, whom they claimed refused to vacate office after expiration of their tenure. Tunde,
it's a catch-22 situation. Naturally, when you look at the brief that the federal government, through the Attorney General, went to court, Supreme Court, to declare that any local government in Nigeria, any that's headed by a caretaker committee, should not be recognized, and they should not be given from the federation account. That is good. But I don't think it is even necessary for the governor. Naturally, we have a system that is working to make a broadcast to the people when the tenure of the local government has expired. I would have expected that 3 months before the expiration, the State Electoral Commission, because we now have State Electoral Commission, will have set in motion process for another election. But the governors, that's why we are saying that Nigerian constitution, there's something seriously wrong with it. The governors playing under that card, they will now appoint an administrator until the end of their tenure, so that the administrators can help them to get election back into office. I think this is it. So I would have expected that between now and the next 1 month or two, thank God that the Supreme Court has given both parties the date they are going to declare, they are going to pronounce judgment on that thing. If the Supreme Court can pronounce judgment, then the action of the governor, he will have to conduct local government elections, because he should have started this thing 3 months ago. There's no need to address the state that there's no need for it. He should have conducted the local government 2 months ago and stopped unnecessary briefing. Naturally, the youth are expressing their own, but I see politics in it. There's no need. There's politics in it, but there's no need to do that in the first instance, because you know when their tenure is going to expire.
You know, the point that it is a point that is a very valid point. Why, you see, the solution to this thing will be for Fubara to just go and do an election. Why is he scared of an election?
Cannot do election.
Why is he scared? The governor of Oyo State conducted election the other day. In any case, do they even do election in local government? What is difficult for him in saying, okay, let's do election from the first day? From the first day, Fubara did not want to do local government election, because he cannot say that he's just getting to know now
that tenure has expired.
He didn't want to do local government election because he suspected that those guys will be re-elected. He does not have structures. He was not originally a practicing politician
in the first instance.
So he didn't want to do an election. And I've been saying it that the cause of this conflict is actually the attempt to send local government chairmen away and plant caretaker chairmen. That's where the conflict began. Remember, even in that draft agreement that Ashwaju made wiped,
yes,
one of the resolutions was that he must not send the local government chairman packing by way of caretaker, because they knew that was what he wanted to do. There should be no reason in the world for governors to have the power to usurp
the powers of the
authority and the running of local governments. Local governments should be able to run as another tier of government. That is what the Constitution envisages. The way you are elected is the way they are elected.
By the people.
Don't bring so-called caretaker committee chairman, which is not known to democracy, it's anti-democratic. Don't bring it. Then again, coming back to Rivers, this matter is in court. Appeal is at the level of appeal. The matter of Martin Amewule and 25 others. I think 25 others. You know, the matter of Martin is before the courts, and there is a kind of corollary with all of those cases, because you could say, okay, they've taken him to court that he should not parade himself as an assembly member anymore, this and that. But the survivor of Martin is, and the things that he did as speaker, they are linked together. You get the point that I'm making? Martin extended the tenure of local government chairman. It's not the first. It's not. The state is not the first where it has happened. They've had tenures even in the north. Even in Lagos here, in Lagos, local government chairman, they used to spend 3 years in office. And the assembly passed the law extending their tenure by 1 year.
So that they can be there when the governor is conducting another election.
They did it. I think it was during Ambode. We know these things. So extension of tenure, if you are saying, okay, Martin, you defected, although they are denying that they defected, if the courts say, well, Martin and others are still assembly members, it means that everything that they did is valid. So all that is required is for these people to calm down, let the judiciary resolve this matter. This indecent haste can lead ultimately to violence. And I had one of the chairmen, I think it was Roland Sekibo, the chairman of Akukutoru local government. He said, those who want to be caretaker chairman, just endure. Those who want to be council chairman, just endure. We are already at court of appeal. It won't take long again. So judgment, it won't take long again for judgment to come. Whichever way the case goes, it will go to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
If I were Fubara, I would have done an election a long time ago.
Yes, now.
What will happen in an election? You are the governor. Your mates, they write the results.
Yes, no. You understand? Because all the states, have you ever seen any state that lost
I remember one case here in Lagos that somebody won an election. I sent my reporters. They came back to tell me that, okay, this is the person that won. By the following morning, we were told again that he didn't win it. He already won. You know? Such funny things can only happen in local government. It's the elections that they do at local government level. Where every ruling party in the state must win all the seats. It's only a few governors that have managed to surrender just a few local government opposition. The former governor of Kano, the teacher, Senator Shekarau, he allowed them to win some local government. Oyo,
during
Rashidi
Ladoja, yes.
Allowed them, I think they won in Ogbomoso and one other place. Allowed them to win, I think, 2. Out of all those local government in Oyo states, allowed them to win 2. Then Kaduna, El-Rufai, he conducted local government election through electronic balloting. And the opposition capitalized on it and won some local governments. Outside of these people that I've talked about, I don't know, maybe Nigerians know some other government.
No, that's state. They always, so why not conduct that and justify your...
You always go the right
result.
you know. But where you don't think that you are in charge, because you have a formidable.
He's afraid.
You'll be afraid the way Fubara is afraid.
The guilty are afraid.
His mates don't go through all this. They will conduct the election. They will write.
They write the result. Why not justify it?
He goes through that route.
Why not go conduct that election?
Maybe, well, none of...
No, they say whether he likes it or not.
Right.
If the Supreme Court now rules that you can't do caretaker anymore, will he not do election?
He has to do it.
Will he not do election? If you deliberately refuse to fund SIEC in your state because you don't want to do it, and your mates are doing election. Why are you scared to do it?
Somebody wanted to be president of Nigeria for 7 years. He didn't do local election in his state.
He didn't. No.
And I wanted to be president of Nigeria. 7 years.
Even the person that came after him also spent 8 years.
8 years without doing any
refused to do local government. It's Anambra we are talking about.
Yes, now.
They've not done election in more than 16 years. Let's say 18 years, because the person who is there now spent 2 years. He too has not done local government election.
Why are they afraid?
Why you not go do local? Waiting there.
Why are they afraid?
So, your final thoughts on this, and where do you think this is heading to, and the likely solutions, if at all?
Well, the solution is that we should all wait. The Supreme Court will soon, maybe in the next 1 week or two, without necessarily preempting the Supreme Court. Let us all wait for the Supreme Court. I know that this caretaker thing, they cannot last 3 months in office. I am very sure of that, because the Supreme Court will not wait till then. So, by the time the Supreme Court give their judgment, we all know where we are going. As to food in Nigeria, let all the state government go back and increase the capacity of the existing farm settlements and create more farm settlements. There's no reason why each of the states cannot have 50 farm settlements for various reasons. If there is, no matter the importation they are doing, if there is enough food in every part of Nigeria, nobody will import it anywhere. Nobody will export it anywhere. Let all of us go back to what we were doing before. Nigeria had no crisis between 1960 and 1966, when all the states did not. They were producing their groundnut. The East, the oil, the Southwest, cocoa, and all the other things. Why now that we are 220 million?
Rubber, South, rubber.
In 1960, we were 44 million. We had no problem with food. Now we are 220 million. 55% of that population, they are youths.
A lot of homework to do.
I'm not ready to...